So here we are for the penultimate episode, our roundup of Loki episode 5. Now, straight in, thoughts, Con?
Best one yet. Action. Everything you wanted.
Brad?
By far the best one yet. By a mile.
It seems like I know I've been saying it every week. This is the best one. Yeah, I know you've had varying differences, but
Best one?
yeah, best one this week. Yeah, best one definitely. I do worry about the finale because I don't know if it will be. I mean, we'll get to it, but it's a big reveal. What episode 6 is all going to be about, but I'm not sure if it's going to beat this one because this was brilliant. Richard E. Grant, obviously, brilliant.
Yeah.
Just go quick run through. So we start off with Loki in the Void with all the other Lokis. Richard E. Grant starts it off. It goes, that's Loki, that's Elias. So we get this big cloud thing that we haven't seen in a Marvel film since, I think, Rise of the Silver Surfer, the old Fantastic Four film. They butchered Galactus. Then we get Sylvie and Ravonna. Do you think she knows? Also, I have to make an apology for my voice. It keeps breaking. Sung and shouted a bit too much over the weekend.
A lot of shouting. She's confusing me. Yeah. I don't know where her arc's going, to be totally honest with you. Yeah. And I'm I don't really need to know unless she's something important, but I don't have a clue if she knows or not. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell.
I can't figure it out. What do you think?
I think she doesn't know who's behind it or what's behind it, as we see later on in the episode. But
she's just being a good soldier then.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, but I don't think she doesn't seem overly bothered about finding out. Do you know what I mean? Like, she saw in the previous episode the timekeeper's head come off. It was an android or whatever, and she didn't seem that shocked by it. But it seems like she's just like a employee of the month, sort of character. Anyway, so then we get the explanation of pruning. Obviously, we knew this from the after credit scene last week. I think we actually predicted that. Well, we asked the question: is it just all right for Loki because he's a god? He can survive these things and gets transferred. It's not. It's every living thing or any mistake that's made on the timeline gets transported here, as we get to see. So we get the opening bits. We're going through New York. We get to see the Sanctorum, Doctor Strange's place in the collapsed ruins. We also get to see Avengers Tower, though it's not Avengers Tower. It's Kang, Q-E-N-G. Again, as you said, and I think it has to become, I don't think this is a pointless Mephisto thing anymore. It seems like it is Kang, because Kang is the company that basically in the comics, Tony Stark sells Stark Tower to Kang Enterprises, who is run by Nathaniel Richards, who is Kang.
Okay, yeah.
So it's
deliberate.
If it's not him, there are really dicking people here.
Yeah,
there's other things as well, isn't there?
What a phrase, by the way. Well, they are dicking.
It's more than this is more than Mephisto stuff. Mephisto was just guessing and stuff like this. This one's got legit Easter eggs, and this episode was full of it anyway. So then we get to Loki needs to lead some answers. He's asking the other Lokis what's going on. Obviously, we get to see Alligator Loki seems to be able to communicate somehow with grunts and stuff. Then we get to the hideout, get a few more Easter eggs. You get Mjolnir in the dirt, which is a very obvious one. Then we also get Little Frog Thor.
Yeah.
Did you have to go back and wind it back?
Quite a few times. My bloody Disney Plus on the smart telly is hard work.
It is.
So it's really hard to rewind, so it's not as easy as like Netflix. So I've done it, kept going back.
Yeah.
And I was like, that just looked like a mini Thor.
I thought that.
Yeah. And then when I paused the frame and finally got the frame, I went, oh, like that. Yeah.
It's Little Frog 4, which is, it's a lot of fans have been, I mean, I don't really care away, but this was the episode to just shove anything in with it and didn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Obviously we're following Alligator Loki about anyway, so it doesn't matter about him.
You're probably going to say it anyway. But what I found really weird, does he just grunt the frog in it? He just like trying to get out or something?
I know what you're going to say. Yeah. I don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything. Apparently it's voiced by Chris Hemsworth.
He does make a little noise.
He does make noises.
Yeah.
So they've got
They really just got Chris Hemsworth to do that. I don't even know what the noise is.
No.
Yeah.
But I read that. It's like, I don't remember anything even being. I just thought I heard a little tinging of glass.
Of the jar where it was in like a little.
Poor little frog though. He's going to suffocate. Surely, isn't he? Anyway, we get to Loki. There's a lot of talk about Loki wants to go do his plan, get Sylvie back, and take down the TVA and find out what's going on. The other Lokis just laugh, very comical laugh from Richard E. Grant throwing his cape up in that ridiculous costume, which is fine. That costume is absolutely fine. But then we go back to Ravonna, asks Miss Minutes. We get a bit more Miss Minutes in this one. Ask them to look through files for the end of time. Sylvie wants the the beginning of time and what's beyond the void, and she wants to know all that stuff. And there's a lot of stalling. I think we all sort of knew this. And then what she says mentions there is maybe a prototype spaceship that can get to the void, and Sylvie knows what's going on.
Bullshit.
And it was all just a. I do like the little animation of the Miss Minutes thing where she was like, she's like, even the
she's going through the files.
Even she was worried. But who created that? Surely if it's just a computer file, it should be, they just put it out, not a little animated character that can give away the game, basically.
I love it.
But then we get, obviously the double cross, and then she must have. It was a big leap of faith for her to believe. Ravonna, that if she pruned herself, then this happens, because obviously she just found out that she's lying about other stuff. She could have just been lying about that, and that would have been end of the series, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, done, finished.
But that was quite a cool moment. She prunes herself.
Excuse me.
And then we get boastful Loki back in the hideout saying he killed Iron Man and Captain America and managed to get all the Infinity Stones for himself, where we get Crocodile. Let's call him Croaky.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm not going to claim responsibility for it. So I read it and I liked it. So Crocodile, Loki, Croaky come up and grunt and say he's basically bullshitting.
It is an alligator.
I think
not a crocodile.
Right. Fair enough. And then we get. I did quite like the classic Loki, Richard E. Grant's classic Loki, or older Loki, or future Loki. He's been called a few things in this episode. Because he is the same Loki as what we follow, and right up until the point of where, at the start of Infinity War, obviously Thanos blows up the ship, but he goes a different route, and shit, sort of just goes away with the debris and lives on a lonely planet. Quite sad, I thought.
That moment when it was almost like he went, "Let me show you how to act."
Yeah,
it was really, really good. Yeah,
but then there's now theories coming out on that, because. It says Loki is right-handed, and if you remember from Infinity War, when he goes to stab me, it's with the left hand. If it was like that, so it's like, well, maybe we was watching the other one or something like this. We don't know. So Loki could still be alive. Probably is. He's died. Nearly everything he's been in, every film, every show so far, he's died in. And then we get Loki tries to leave, but they won't help him, and then open up the hatch, and there's a whole smattering of Lokis. You got President Loki. Did you think before the series started, when obviously the trailer came out and you had President Loki with a badge, did you think that was going to be a different Loki? Do you get what I mean? When you saw the trailer, I just presumed, because at that point in the trailer we didn't know
how many variants.
We didn't know there was going to be loads of them. I just presumed that was the same one.
Yeah. I suppose I probably did. I didn't think of it like that.
It's a completely different one.
Yeah,
and all the others around him are also. It seems like they're Lokis as well. Every one of them. So there's about, I don't know, 20, maybe 15 or something like that. And then we get them come back into... No, sorry, we don't get that. We get Sylvie in the void, running away from her life, the big cloud monster thing. She gets a slight touch of enchantment and sees very quick glimpse of something, but she knows what she's got to do. Then we get the return of Mobius.
Fantastic.
In a little car with a pizza on. It was very odd. It was very odd, but good that he's back. Obviously, we all wanted him back. He's one of the best characters. Is he behind it all? Who knows? It's a theory that's out there at the moment. Mobius is the big bad.
Oh, I love it.
They said all the other Marvel shows so far, like WandaVision with Catherine Hahn and Falcon Winter Soldier, you had Sharon Carter, who turned out to be a bit of the villain at the end, really, and now it's going forward. So they said so far the trend is it's someone who's already in. Yeah, so none of them so far have introduced the big bad or villain at the end, and it's just like another character. I don't think it's Mobius. It can't be.
No, I don't think so.
I hope not.
No, because it was a lovely. Do you think Loki? Actually, we'll get to that bit in a minute. So anyway, then we get your favourite scene. I think you said inside the hideout. Do you want to go through that?
So it was just. So you had the 3 stages. You had Kid Loki, who is the king there because he killed Thor, and obviously
I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that was his Nexus event. I think he says was that I killed Thor. So he's king there. Even classic Loki, Richard E. Grant has accepted it, and boastful Kid Loki's king. But then out of nowhere, when the sea of Lokis are there, President Loki, etc., boastful Loki crosses him. What's it called?
Double cross.
He double crosses Kid Loki and says, I'm the king now. And then the President Loki goes, about that. And then he goes, I've got the army, blah, blah, blah. And then the army
triple
go,
cross,
about that. And it was just, and then whilst that's going on, our Loki rolls his eyes.
Yeah.
Because it's just, they all just will never change. Yeah. The only people that are like grown are Kid Loki, Classic Loki, and our Loki. The rest just want to double cross each other.
Hey, don't forget the alligator.
And the alligator, of course, alligator. The rest just want to
wine at some point in that episode.
I thought that was very, very good. Like, I laughed out loud. Yeah. I did laugh.
That's exactly what was. That's what it's what they do. I think Mobius said it in a previous episode. All you ever do is stab people in the back, and so that is very Loki. And then we get the bit where alligator Loki bites President Loki's hand off, so he got a one-handed one. Yeah, it was very good. And then we get the projection from future Loki, classic Loki, for them to escape and stuff, and they all get away. It was quite a good little fight scene. I think he's throwing out stuff and all that. And then we get obviously future classic Loki and Kid Loki agree to help, and then we get Sylvie and Mobius looking for Loki and then explaining what's happening with Eliath. And then we get the battleship appears, which is battleship. What did you say?
The USS Eldridge.
USS Eldridge. So the battleship that I think I spoke.
We had a chat at the pub. Yeah.
So the reason that's there is because I can't remember. I have a first, Second World War. It was a US battleship, and it was claimed that it had cloaking abilities and could be invisible.
Yeah,
basically, which is obviously not true. But this is just taking it another step further. That it never went invisible. It didn't sink either. It was just taken and obviously dumped here. And I think we said the other day, is that it's a bit strange that obviously this ship must have just been in a sea somewhere, lands on the land, and it's this big, terrifying smoke monster. And none of this crew seemed surprised. They just went fire everything.
Yeah, proper strange.
None of them went, what on earth is going on here? But yeah, I think that was a good way to demonstrate like what Eliath is really, because it was very quick.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out a plan how to go, we'll just sneak around the back of it, and it demolishes the whole ship and kills everything on there
in seconds.
Yeah. So it was a bit of a wake up call. And then we get Sylvie and the reunion. That's what I was trying to say. The reunion with Sylvie and Mobius and everyone. And I genuinely feel that Loki likes Mobius more than Sylvie. It's like a nice little bromance going on between the two. He's back. He's brilliant. They've got the new plan. They're going to enchant it, which seems good. It seems like a good plan at this time, because you've seen this. You couldn't really see much when she did it. Then we got Ravonna. It turns out that go back to TVA, and Ravonna's there with B-15. She's still alive. There's a new rumor apparently that B-15's a Loki variant as well.
Oh, really?
Ain't that because no, they had a nightmare. It was Netflix Canada.
Oh, right.
Not Netflix Canada. Marvel Studios Canada done a tweet going like, "Are you looking forward to the finale? Here's our Lokis." And B-15 was there, and then Kate Herron, the director, went, "Oh, that was a good twist." And then then she replied to herself and went, "That was sarcasm, by the way." And then I think it got taken down or something. So they had a bit of a nightmare there, because it was a proper her in the picture.
They keep having nightmares,
and it was an absolute nightmare.
They've got some of the best marketing teams out there. They do keep messing up. But then we get obviously a conversation between her and Ravonna, and she says quite the powerful lines like, she'll beat you there because she needs it. You only want it, and sort of thing. It's quite good. And I think Ravonna at this point sort of she shits herself, basically. She comes back out. She gets Miss Minutes back out. Went, I need everything because they're in danger. I need every bit of information, which don't necessarily think is actually there. It's Miss Minutes. I don't know if you're actually going to get that. And then we got completely lost what I was doing there. Oh yeah, so all the files and things, and then we get Loki and Sylvie conversation. Had a little lovey moment, I guess you do. It was quite nice, I suppose. You don't really like this part of it that much.
I mean, I don't like it, but it's two good actors. Yeah. It's to drive the plot forward with their relationships. It's fine. I don't like it the way they've gone, but it was good acting. It's fine.
Have you changed your tune on her?
I do. I like her now. But first episode we saw her, she was Cockney. Now she's Northern. Now she's Northern. So I'm not sure what's going on.
There is a bit of an accent change. There is. Yeah.
I do like her. I like her.
I didn't even think of that. She did have twangs off Northern. Yeah.
So now, can't really say much more about that, I suppose.
Brilliant.
And then we got they talk about, they don't really believe that they're nexus event within a thing was causing it, which is them two, loving each other and that. But they do say our Loki does say when it's all over, we can figure something out together. So this could be it moving forward. But then we get to the point where we have the first is alive. Yeah. Obviously, Kid Loki and Casket Loki walk away. He gives him a little sword first, which is apparently a sword from the comics. I didn't know that. Fire out fire and all that sort of stuff. And then Casket Loki walks away. First, he does have a little look back, though.
Yeah.
We all knew.
But I didn't think he would, because usually when something like that happens, because obviously thousands of times it happens in movies, but when he looks back, usually it then cuts away.
Yeah.
But he literally looks back and then they both carry on walking.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was quite nice. So I didn't think he was coming. I genuinely, I'm one of the rare ones. I thought he was done. So maybe that's why I thought this moment was...
I get exactly what you mean, but I just think if you show a TV show or a film, someone walking away, having a quick look back, goes... No.
True.
They're coming.
I was completely side-blinded by it.
And then obviously there's the buyer saying bye to Mobius, gives him the tempad. He goes, we presume, back to the TVA straight away.
He's going to burn it to the ground, isn't he?
He's going back very outgunned there, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's got nothing.
Shit. Comes through
the door. Oh dear. All the little pruning sticks. He's just gone back
there.
Unless we don't know where he's actually gone, maybe to a weapons vault or something. I don't know. And then we get Eliath approaching, needs a diversion. Loki sort of runs off, does a little flame swordy thing. Wasn't big enough. Eliath starts going back to Sylvie. But then we get, I think, possibly the best shot and sequence with Richard E. Grant and of the whole Marvel series so far, all three of the series. It really does show, because you've seen glimpses of it, how powerful Loki can actually be. This future Loki basically conjures a whole Asgard, the whole projection of Asgard, and it looked incredible. What did you think of that?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. And just to see the power of Loki as well, I liked seeing that.
Yeah, I think that was a layer, because that's might be my problem with the series, that we do know that Loki's powerful, and we ain't really seen it, but that for me, I think I said the best way to sum that up is that I know there's been a pandemic and stuff, but I think we were talking in the pub, and I said that not since the Spider-Man Far From Home Spider-Sense sequence on the little bridge thing have I sort of I've gasped at Marvel and gone, this is something else.
Yeah.
And this for me was one of that. It was outstanding. It was a flawless scene. It was absolutely incredible.
It was. I really did enjoy it. Obviously, that attracts the attention of Eliath, and he's trying to eat, a hologram essentially, which is not really happening. And then we get. I mean, some people have been saying, obviously, this future Loki, you don't know how old he actually is. Obviously, they're gods, so Thor's like 1,500 years old, I think he says at one point in Infinity War, something like that. Loki, this could be our version of Loki, the 2012 version, which is what this one is, could still be quite young in regards to the powers and stuff. And as we see, that future Loki can do all of that. There's a bit where, maybe like an X-Men sort of thing in that one shot where under threat, he could do something and stop that tower. Do you know what I mean? It manifests. Yeah. But then we get the bit, obviously, where he needs to do an enchantment together, which he says he can't do. Obviously, it's something that they're all Lokis. I think she says, we're Loki, you can do these things. So he is becoming more and more powerful.
Yeah.
Do the enchantment. As they're doing it, Casket Loki dies, going out and maniacally laughing.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Unless it was another projection, who knows? but yeah, we get, and then we get the two of them going at it, enchanted. The things that their lives, big things going to eat them, and it all suddenly just turns green.
Great
and
shot.
It did look good. Did look good. And then we get enchantment worked, and then open your eyes. You've done it. He's got a new power now, and then it all opens up, and we get the shot of a big floating castle behind the curtain.
Great description.
Well, I don't know how else to describe it. It has sort of like a lighthouse bit on top as well. But that scene looks great with the clouds parting, like this floating castle in the middle of just space or like weird bits around it. It all just looked great. And then obviously it stops, and this is where. Ow. I do that once a week, at least once a week. This is where the finale is going to wrap up. So, who is it? Who's there? Any guesses? Is it someone we've already seen? Is it a new character?
I think it makes total sense to be a another variant Loki. I think it will be I mean, I don't know enough of the comics, but one of the top guesses, obviously we'll talk about Kang in a second.
Yeah.
One of the top guesses is King Loki.
Yes.
Who apparently is the most evil version in the comics of Loki in like variant. And people are saying it'd be really cool if, because King Loki's older, in the comics looks older, they're saying it'd be really cool if it could be played by Richard E. Grant again.
Yeah.
Not the same Loki.
Yeah.
But it could just be an evil version this time, because he is an evil actor. He's evil in most things he plays. But yeah, so I think it's going to be that. I would like it to be Kang. It makes total sense to be Kang. We've got Jonathan Majors cast as Kang. Why would it not be?
Yeah.
But I do think the way these sort of shows go and the whole message is Loki changing, it would be very appropriate to be against a bad Loki.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. That would be cool.
I get the idea of it. I don't want that to be it.
I don't. No, I want Kang.
Otherwise, for me, it's another White Vision Vision fiasco. Yeah. But I think it has to be Kang. Can we just quickly go through some of the Easter eggs there? So we had, obviously, talk about the battleship that came. We had a giant-sized yellow jacket. Helmet from obviously Ant-Man and Wasp.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't.
The size of it. How could I not notice it?
Second time I watched it, I went, oh, yeah, it's just pretty obvious.
Pretty obvious.
So we've got a giant-sized yellow jacket, helmet. Obviously, at the end of Ant-Man, he combusted and went into the quantum realm. So this could be where he ended up or whatever. I don't think it really matters. Like we said earlier, this is an episode where we just shove stuff in. Doesn't really matter. Then we had the Living Tribunal, which is a big comics character. It's a statue head with basically 3 faces, like a god of the Marvel universe. We had the Thanos copter,
brilliant,
which is sort of like an old comic, and where Thanos literally terrorizes New York, flying around in his own little copter. That says Thanos on it. And the end of the comic, he actually just gets arrested by regular policeman. he's actually going away in handcuffs from regular policeman. Well, obviously we've got Throg. We talked about Mjolnir as well. What else?
Even the episode title, Journey. The mystery, brilliant.
Which is, for anyone who don't know, is the comic book where Loki and Thor first come. That was the title of the comic book. Anything else in there?
I think it was a lot.
Probably missed one now. Yeah. But like we said at the start, the Avengers Tower changed to Kang Enterprises is just this is too many breadcrumbs. This isn't just Mephisto where there was no definitive sort of answer. They've literally put something in to do with him. And Ravona's been there from the start, who we said is his girlfriend / wife in the comics. So
I did Google as well, because we were talking in the pub, and I Googled to see when was this being filmed and when was Jonathan Majors announced and cast and stuff. And because of the pandemic, this stopped for ages. I didn't know this. This stopped for ages. So this was well and truly filming when he was announced because of the break.
Yeah.
So I am with Craig. I think it'd be amazing if it was, and it would be a step up off the other shows, WandaVision, Falcon and the Soldier, if it's Kang, because we know he's coming. So introduce him now in a really appropriate way.
It makes sense. Yeah. And also we know Fantastic Four's happening as well, and he's Nathaniel Richards, some alternative version of his son or grandson or something like that. So it all fits into place. But this could end up being another Mephisto, and it is just Loki at the end of it. I don't want that, but yeah.
You'll get a Thanos end of credit, post-credit Kang thing, I think, at the very minimum. Yeah. If there isn't, then what are you doing? You'll get at least that, but hopefully it's a full-on Kang.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So any other thoughts on that? I just want to say that I think that was a 9 out of 10 episode for me, and
completely agree.
And the whole series for me now is sitting about an 8. I'm really enjoying it.
It's probably up for me. I'll probably say about a 7.58, probably 8. Or,
I think I was a 6.5/7, but that one episode is enough for me to go 8.
Yeah.
And can they go any more? And virtual
I'm worried.
Amazing, because if you get to a 9 out of 10, that's an amazing series.
Yeah.
And next stop is flawless.
Yeah,
but it's a great series so far.
Yeah.
All right, that'll pretty much do. So this will be out the night before the finale. We'll be back next week to discuss on the main podcast. But check out @weeklycut at Instagram and Twitter. And thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Cheers.